EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports at the Open Championship, and we are at the home of golf, the old course at St. Andrews. And Frank, you know the old course is old when the new course here in St. Andrews is a century old.
But the old course is just a treat to play, or even play an Open Championship on that. The holes have changed in the way in which they're played over the years. For example, some of the short par fours are very drivable by today's great players, but the pot bunkers, how penal they are should you stray offline. They have to be avoided. And of course there's all the little landmarks, whether it be the Old Course Hotel or even the famous Swilcan Bridge as you traverse the 18th hole. There's something at St. Andrews for everybody.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Well, couldn't have done much better than that, and the eagle is looking very likely now. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament. Take you down now to the 15th hole. Frank, our featured player, putting together an excellent round so far.
When you look at the score at the end of the week, Rich, this round actually just might make his tournament.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Second shot now from 100 yards. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
This is an awkward
こんばん
length.
は、お疲れ様です。
Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes
こんば
another
んは
birdie.
0アンダーバー0。
Frank, the 16th hole, famous for the principal's nose, and I can't help but think of Mrs. Hartman from 4th grade.
Well, I don't
She
know
didn't
how,
like us.
I don't know how Mrs. Hartman would have played this hole, but she would have been wary of the out of bounds on the right. And that's why the general consensus is you not only avoid the principal's nose, but you hit the tee shot a little bit further left. It might lengthen the hole, but it is certainly the more prudent strategy.
Frank, such an advantage when you can hit that far.
It's not fair.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
The famous 17th at the Open Championship, Frank, you begin to see the scoreboards, the grandstands, and you know all eyes are on you for the next couple of holes.
Yeah, this is one hole I think that anybody that goes to the Old Course certainly wants to play. Blind tee shot, you've got to flash it across the out of bounds and somehow find the fairway. If you go too safe down the left side, well, there's some heather to be chopping out of. Good tee shot certainly gives you a chance to hit it this beautiful green that's angled to the left, well protected by the road hole bunker. And if you're a little ambitious and a little strong, then there's a road itself and an out of bounds beyond this green.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. That will be a great look at birdie. These putts keep the round together. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. Frank, is there a more famous landmark in the sport than the tiny Swoken Bridge?
I think when you think of this game, the way in which we've followed it and covered it, Rich, over the last decade plus, no. It is just symbolic, not just with this golf course, but the game of golf itself, because every great champion has managed to make his foray across to Scotland and play the Old Course and walk across that bridge.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Setting up for an approach shot here. Frank, he's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. This from 7 feet. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. Frank, when you come to the Old Course at St. Andrews for the Open Championship, you can just about hear the legends whispering to you. So many of the greats have made their mark right here.
It's the oldest, it's the best, and it's the one course that everybody, no matter where they're born, wants to play. Every great player has played St. Andrews, and That will be well in advance after our time, Rich. It's just something special. When you see it and play it, you'll see the reason why.
And from that position, a good chance to get at this hole location at number 7. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, this for birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
Given the situation, Rich, things so tight at the top. Very, very good birdie.
That was huge right there. Still with a great chance to come away with this title. Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Has it. Now to 7 under for the tournament. Always so important to finish your first 9 holes on a positive note here at the Open Championship.
Yeah, the 9th hole, this is the most extreme part, furthest away from the clubhouse, in the middle of the loop here. A good drive, though, that avoids those bunkers has every chance of finding this par 4 with your tee shot.
They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball.
Remember, out of the rough, expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Birdie try up next. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. About 80 yards left, Frank.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present third round coverage of the Open Championship. Welcome to the Open Championship, the oldest major in golf. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews combined with the Open Championship, it's bathed in history.
The golf course is magnificent. It just reeks of all the great players that have played the game. Pick your hero, whether it's a Bobby Jones, a Nicklaus, a Rory McIlroy, a Tiger Woods. All the greats have been there and played this marvelous course. It stood the test of time. And even the routing, the old 9 holes out, turn around and 9 holes in. It's marvelous.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, this first hole, all about the stroke and burn.
Yeah, it cuts in so close to the front of that putting surface. If there's just a puff of wind, then all of a sudden that burn that you could just step across very much comes into play.
That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Trying to get the round off to a good start. Frank, we're at the second hole, and what's ahead?
Well, the ideal tee shot, just a little over that gorse bush in front of you, which is down the right side. That's the best angle in, but it also brings in a little bit of trouble. But if that pin is anywhere towards the middle of this double green, then really you want to be coming in from the right side.
He has put himself in an excellent position with a beautiful tee shot, and now a good look at the green. 110 yards away, and this shot could be affected by the wind, which is coming from behind.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. Frank, talk about the strategy off the tee here at the third.
You can drive the ball pretty close to this green, Rich. It's shorter than the second hole. Just hit it down the right side, but try and avoid those little pot bunkers.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Second shot. Good look at the green. On the green, and a chance for birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Frank, a much more difficult hole here at the fourth at the Old Course.
Yeah, that new championship tee has really made for a very hard par 4. Two ways to play it. Down the right, that's a very, very narrow strip of fairway. Most will go to the left side, a little more conservative. But either way, tough second shot.
Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
Frank, about 150 yards to that hole location. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just a couple of feet. Chalk that up as a birdie for the scorecard. Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Well, you could, especially if you've got a little bit of breeze behind you, but it's quite wide in the driving area with the exception of those 3 bunkers on the right that just sort of pop out. But if you can get it past those, this par 5, very reachable.
Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. In the fairway, it's lying nicely, and 180 yards left. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Well, couldn't have done much better than that, and the eagle is looking very likely now. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 374-yard par 4 6th, another scoring opportunity.
Yeah, just be very careful of the wind conditions here because that'll affect the strategy off the tee, but bunkers left and right to be avoided.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
That is classy.
Oh, chance of going in.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present final round coverage of the Open Championship. Well, every golfer wants to come home, and here we are at the home of golf, the Old Course at St. Andrews. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports.
Yeah, and Rich, this is just a wonderful place to play the game. Every player that's ever sort of learned to swing the golf club, this is the one course they wanted to play. The reason why is because every great this game has ever seen has walked across Saucon Bridge. I'm loving that balance. I tell you, there's long and long, and that with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. And it makes the green in regulation. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Wow, what a birdie. Frank, what are we looking at here at the famed par 3 11th at the Old Course?
Well, the most difficult, there is only two par 3s here at the Old Course, and this one's called high, elevated green, and you've got to fly that bunker that protects the front of the green. That's called the Strath bunker. You really take anything on this green. You make a 2 here, you'll make a move on the field.
Early part of this second nine with good approach shot. And now, pretty good chance for birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
Now at the 12th, and Frank, when you put the peg in the ground here, Are you licking your chops?
Well, you are, unless you're playing into a head breeze, because if you are playing a head breeze, then you've got to worry about the 4 bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway. Touch of help, or if you're a long hitter, then all you've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker just short of this green. There is gorse left and right, though.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? Do you hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
No, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
Safely aboard. Par yesterday, now for birdie. And he has it for birdie. Here at the par 4 13th hole at the Old Course, Frank, what's the best play, power, or do you go with precision?
Well, you'd like a nice mixture of both there, Rich. If you can take those coffins out of play, that's the name for those series of bunkers sort of down the middle, then obviously you've got a much shorter shot coming in, and then you've got a chance to actually have a full view of this green.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You've just got to keep it out of those high breezes, play away from the trouble.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Frank, what's the strategy here at the 14th?
If you can't go for this par 5 and 2, Rich, there is another option where you can go left. And I mean left of left. That's down the 4th fairway. That's across the Elysian Fields, as they call it, which is a set of sort of hummocks that run down the middle. And you can find a flat lie there and come across at about a 45-degree angle for your 3rd shot to 14. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicklaus over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Time to tee it up here at the 15th as we begin the closing stretch here at the Open Championship of the Old Course at St. Andrews.
There's a big steeple in the distance, so even when it starts to fog in a bit, if you can keep your eye on that, that's a good line off the tee. And you've got to keep it, your tee shot just short of this sort of heather, big crop of heather down the left side. It still leaves you a lengthy second shot. But really, that's the safest way to try and play this par 4, 15th. Very good par 4.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Continuing his fine play, another beautiful approach shot. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Good putt. Frank, the 16th hole, famous for the principal's nose, and I can't help but think of Mrs. Hartman from 4th grade.
Well, I don't know.
She didn't like us.
I don't know how Mrs. Hartman would have played this hole, but she would have been wary of the out of bounds on the right, and that's why the general consensus is you not only avoid the principal's nose, but you hit the tee shot a little bit further left. It might lengthen the hole, but it is certainly the more prudent strategy.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
What incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Settles in over the putt.
Great sense of speed in that. You know you can make those, but that one right in the middle.
Frank, this may well be the most famous hole in the world. It's the road hole here at the Old Course, number 17.
Yeah, without doubt, Rich. The vistas have changed over the years. There used to be a series of railway sheds down the right, and you had to hit it over across those. Now you hit it off across the corner of the hotel. So blind tee shot, further right you go, the shorter and the better angle you have in. And you need a good angle in because you mentioned it, road hole, it's got the road hole bunker that sits perfectly in that left front of this par 4 green.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, here at the 18th, so much history has been made through the years.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories, I remember Jack Nicklaus when he beat Doug Sanders in that playoff. The famous sort of short putt that Doug Sanders missed. But really, the great moment that stands out was Seve making that 15-footer across the hill in 1984 wearing the blue sweater. Not only did he win the Open Championship, but he beat a tremendous field that included Bernard Langer, Tom Watson, Fred Couples, Lanny Wadkins, Faldo, and Greg Norman. It was an amazing Open Championship.
And I loved that fist pump. It was pure Seve. All that fire, all that passion came flying out. And that's where you just sort of fell in love with the game.
Should be safely on deck.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
To win the Open Championship. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins. Great effort right there.